Fucking Funky Town Ale Yeast. What the fuck am I gonna make with that? Hey guys, what's happening? Sammy the Thrifty Brewer coming at you, and happy Homebrew Wednesday for Wednesday, December the 10th. Apologize for missing last week. Did have some footage, but then, you know, life caught up with me and decided I would put everything together this week. So this one may be a little bit of a long one, so I apologize in advance. So cheers. Oh, flipping out. This is not a homebrew. This is actually a Red Rocket Stout from our good friends at Soda City Brewing in Gravenhurst, Ontario, just literally down the street from me. Well, about a 20-minute drive, but I drive by it every day from work. Also picked up a couple bottles of their new Imperial Stout at 9.5%, as well as a new Rye Saison that is conditioned in the can, so I'm kind of really excited about that. What's been happening on the brewing front? Well, a little bit here and there, actually. I did actually put together a brew last weekend, put together another pale ale in the crock pot. Was going to planning on doing that on Saturday night after dinner with my youngest, Rebecca. Ended up falling asleep on the couch and waking up at 9 o'clock and was just too tired, so I ended up cracking on with it first thing Sunday morning and got her all wrapped up. Did the Santa Claus parade on Sunday, came back, chilled it, threw it into primary, and got pretty close to my numbers. Volume was just a little bit shy, a half liter shy. I was actually shooting for 20 liters. Finished off at 19.5, and a little low on gravity as well. Not too much though. I mean, it'll still work out good. I mean, if it finishes like any of my other beers have been finishing, it should attenuate pretty good. Finished off at 10:41. I was actually shooting for 10:46, so 5 points below what I was hoping for, but that's all right. Flavor was all there, and you know, I'm pleased with that. So, don't know if you can see behind me, but there's a big red monstrosity sitting on top of the fermentation chamber. Picked up a cooler today on sale at Canadian Tire, the local big box discount hardware store, if you will, for 59 bucks. So it's a 50-quart cooler. I'm going to endeavor forward and building a bulkhead, thrifty style that is, with what I got lying around the house, that being probably some silicone hose, some stainless steel mesh or braided line, and some copper with what I got lying around. I think I have enough to pull it off, but time will tell, so there'll be a video coming up on that in the near future. Other than that, tonight I'm going to be kegging my 90-minute IPA clone, which finished off at 12.1% ABV. It attenuated like fully. I'm going to be kegging it to carb it, because my fear is that the yeast have done their job and there's no more gas left in the tank, those little nasty those little yeasty bits. So I'm going to keg it, carb it, and I'm going to bottle, because I'm going to give some to Dan and some to Nick as well, because we brewed that beer together. And I'm going to do a tasting on that in a bit. I just got the keg with a pump going, cleaning out the lines, not the beer lines, but the in and out lines in the keg, the gas and liquid line in there. And with some OxyClean right now. It's been sitting on OxyClean for overnight, and I'm just going to run that through the lines for a couple minutes. Switched over to some Star Sand, give her a rinse, and then keg away. Now this was a 15-liter batch, and I was hoping for like a 9% beer, you know, 90-minute IPA, 9% ABV. I did taste it earlier on, and it was a little thin. I'm going to hold off on doing the second tasting, which I will record for you guys, and get my final impressions on it after, because it's only in dry hop for 5 days, as per the recipe states. So, yeah. I also want to give a huge thanks to Brandon Richter, Turtle Feather Brew. I believe it's Turtle Feather Brew 62. I'll put a link down below. He sent me a wicked care package or beer mail. That contained a couple of beers, as well as a growler of his Dead Mouse Guy. Yeah, Dead Mouse Guy, which he bottled on the 2nd, so it's currently conditioning in the growler, as well as some yeast and some Dark Cloud Stout. And I do have some footage of that, which I will show you right now. As our good friend Harry says, roll the VT, if you will. I got home, snowing like the dickens outside, so before I go outside and play in the snow, I wanted to give a really big, heartfelt, and sincere thanks to Brandon Richter. Brandon was one of the participants in the SJ Pour Challenge for Canada. He actually did technically place 3rd in Canada, but unfortunately wasn't able to submit a rebrew for the International Challenge. Now, Brandon does have a YouTube channel. I will post a link down below in the comment section because you guys really need to check out what this guy does. He does some amazing beers. He did a Saison that was just freaking out of this world. I mean, hell, it finished 3rd in Canada, and it was truly a pleasure to drink. So I got home and literally tripped over this box. And inside this box, I did already unpack it, Brandon, because everything I put away safe in the fridge because of what was contained inside. We got some cold packs, and that should be a hint in terms of what's there. His note, I'm going to read it to you word for word. I'd like to say sorry for not being able to send more here through the mail area like the sponsors, for the sponsors like I said I would. But as you know, life happens. Ain't that the truth, brother? Very much so. Life does seriously happen. So anyways, to say thank you for being the Canadian Hub and guy, Canadian Hub guy, and all your hard work. I sent you a growler of my Dead Moose Guy, which he did bottle, and is currently conditioning in the growler. I bottled that on December the 2nd, so it's going to be ready to go in about 2 to 3 weeks. As well as some yeast and a bottle of his Dark Cloud Stout. So I'm going to show you what this amazing guy sent me. And just, I'm truly, deeply honored and truly gobsmacked in terms of what he did. So first and foremost, so this is the growler I got, and this is his the Dead Moose Guy. Yeah, the bottle of his Dead Moose Guy, which is on the 2nd of December. So I'm gonna let that chill, not chill, but I'm gonna let that condition and partake in this in December. Secondly, there's also a bottle of his Dark Cloud Stout, and I'm gonna let that one settle down before I crack on that, Brandon. I'm assuming that's ready to rock and roll, brother. I'm gonna let that settle down for a week or two before I crack into that, mate. Do a nice review there for you. Now, this is a thing that really blew my mind. Is that also in the package? A bottle of the Y yeast 1056 American Ale yeast. Now, I've never used this stuff before, so I'm really, really excited. Plus, an assortment of 5 different yeasts. And I'm going to go through them with you guys. Everything arrived fine and dandy. We have a vial from the Yeast Bay of the Funky Town Pale Ale yeast from White Labs. Wallonian Farmhouse yeast as well from White Labs. Vermont Ale yeast as well from White Labs. It's just friggin' awesome. Like, I'm so excited. I've never used this liquid yeast before, so I'm truly, truly excited, buddy. This is amazing. It keeps going. And a bottle of a vial of the Northeastern Abbey yeast, which is friggin' wicked. And finally, not to be outdone, is a vial of the amalgamation yeast. So, Brandon, honestly, buddy, brother, I honestly could not be more pleased and truly am honored for this amazing gift, because that's what it is. Yeah, it's truly touching that, you know, people go to great efforts to do what we do, and and then share those results and certain things with other people. And this is a true testament to not only as Canadians, but as members of the homebrewing community, what it's all about. So I just wanted to touch briefly on that. I'm going to go out and play in the snow. And if I have time, I'll get this uploaded tonight, but more than likely it won't be till later on in the week. So Brendan, honestly, brother, I could not be more pleased. You've truly made a mediocre day a brilliant day, mate. Thank you so very much. And we'll get this great Canadian beer exchange going. Cheers, Brandon. Thank you again, brother. I truly do appreciate it. Yes, that was pretty freaking cool of Brandon. I was not expecting that by any means. I haven't had the balls to try any of the yeast yet. There's some interesting sour stuff and Brett stuff in there that I'm going to have to pick up a few more odds and sods so I can have a dedicated selection of stuff for sour beers and Brett beers, and mark them off as sour beer use only type of thing, so I don't get the two mixed up and create issues down the road. Second to that, Neal, the Poorly Brewer, sent me some beer mail as well that contained it was a wicked box. It got that last Friday, actually, and I apologize, Neal, I didn't record any footage for you, brother. There are some amazing beers from Fort River Brewing Company from London. Two of them I've had. One of them I'm actually saving. It was a bourbon barrel aged stout, I believe, that I'm cellaring in the small fridge. He also sent me a couple of his other beers. One which I did have, which was amazing. It was really, really good. I think it was like a rye IPA, I believe. I had to check the box and see, which was amazing. So good. He also sent me an American Christmas stout, which I'm going to let sit for a few more weeks before I crack into that gem over the holidays. The one sad note, though, is that I received the box. I set it downstairs on the counter. I went out with my girls to an event that my wife was organizing downtown, and I came back home, unpackaged the box, unwrapped all the beers, put everything on the counter, took a picture to send him, and then literally turned my back for not even 10 seconds, and one of them fucking exploded. Now, the beer was called Sex Panther, and I was looking at my hands, I was looking at the floor, looking at my jacket, and it tasted amazing. It really did. I was like, oh my God. So sad. Just goes to show you, you know, Canadian weather, sits in a cold truck, gets all shaken up, bring it into a relatively warm environment, let it sit, and blows the top. And literally, I've never seen a bottle grenade before. It's the first time for me. And this one I didn't see, I just heard it, and it sounded like a fucking gun going off. So I was like looking, dodging bullets and whatever. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So Neal, I'm very sad that I didn't get to try it. What I did taste was awesome, buddy. So thank you so very much. Greatly appreciated. Also started a Facebook page called the Great Canadian Beer Exchange. Basically taking all the guys from the Canadian side of the SJ Pour competition, put them all together in a page, and we're going to start exchanging beers in the new year. I haven't quite figured out the logistics yet, but basically I think it's going to be everybody just sending beers to one another, and, you know, setting it up as a, you know, a meeting point for guys to get together to exchange addresses and exchange recipes and whatnot. So very informal type shit. So those of you guys in Canada who are interested, it's unfortunately Canada only, just based on shipping. Those of you who've been following the SJ Pour Challenge know the issues I'm currently having with international shipping. I am furious about that, so frustrated and genuinely pissed off and angry. Yeah, the beers from New Zealand and England haven't landed yet. They're currently showing as left country of origin. I've started traces on them this week, but as it stands right now, it's very likely that they will not be included in the Canadian beers will not be included in the voting for New Zealand and the UK, which sucks. Big ass beaver balls. But you know, moving forward, obviously have to make some steps to try and minimize those issues in the future. Just sucks. Sucks, but unfortunately there are things that are out of our control, but I'll drink to that. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get this keg ready, get it all sanitized, cleaned up, and we'll rack the 90-minute IPA clone, or triple 90-minute IPA, if you will, into keg. Throw some footage of that together, and do a sample, and we'll call it a night. Cheers, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and happy Homebrew Wednesday. I'm so glad I bought 2 cans of that stuff. That's so tasty. Awesome. Okay. Alrighty, so we are racking the 90-minute IPA into keg. Get some saran wrap, but first I'm going to get myself a little sampley poo so you can see how she does here. Now, I'm going to put the camera down and fill up this lovely session in this Coca glass. 12.1 ABV, that's about all I can handle on a Wednesday night. So, we'll be right back, boys. Cheers. That's some sweet hoppy goodness right there. Son of a bitch, look at that. In hindsight, I probably should have cold crashed this with some gelatin to clean it out a little bit further, but hopefully my beer lines won't clog. Alright, on to the taste test. Okay, so here she is. Very hazy. This was just right off the beginning, so there's a lot of hop residue in there. A lot. Dry hop, 22.5 grams of Amarillo, 11 1/4 grams of Simcoe, and 11 1/4 grams of Warrior for 5 days. 12.1% ABV, triple 90-minute IPA. See how she tastes. Hello, lovely. It smells great. Like a really nice, fruity, just a hint of pine just on the back side of the nose there. Here we go. It's very dry. Very, very dry indeed. With a significant piney punch. Now, next time I'll add more Crystal 60 or Crystal 60 or Crystal 120 to the recipe to provide some residual sweetness and some malt backbone to this, but I think she'll drink okay with some age. Now, I brewed this with water from another city in Toronto with my good mates Dan and Nick, and I didn't take into account any adjustments for pH for the mash or anything like that. So there's a slight aftertaste to it that I cannot attribute to the hops, because I've never used Warrior before, or the high alcohol content, but it's definitely warming as it goes down, so it has some possibilities. I would definitely do this again for sure. For sure. Well, she's on gas now. I'll try it on Friday, probably Saturday actually, see how it tastes then, and I get it into some bottles for Dan and Nick. The rest I'll keep on tap and have it in very small glasses. So anyways, guys, that's it for me this week. Probably not going to be doing an awful lot of YouTube videos in the near future. Winter is fast approaching, and life for us in the Larkman household gets very, very busy. That's my phone telling me that my battery is becoming very low. It's very, very busy between skating, skiing, and everything else. So I'll try and update as I can, but Thrifty is still around and just taking a bit of a step away, if you will. So I'll still be doing updates, still available to be contacted, PMs and all that stuff, but won't be doing as many like every week or every other week. For that, I might maybe like once every 3 weeks, once every month type of thing, but we'll see how it goes, see how time permits. Anyways, this is Sammy the Thrifty Brewer saying, if you're gonna do something, do it with a homebrew. In this case, a hop sediment filled 12.1% ABV 90-minute triple IPA or triple 90-minute IPA. And it's not half bad. I think with some time it'll just tone down and mellow out a little bit, but I think it may work. Either way, I'll chase this back with some Red Rocket spiced out, which is now gone. Means I have to finish that and clean up. Anyways, Sammy the 30 Brewer saying if you're going to do something, do it with a home brew. By all means, keep calm and brew on, everybody. Cheers and happy Homebrew Wednesday. And thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and thumbing up the videos. Cheers. Be safe. All the best. Fucking hell. I'm still not sure about it. Cheers, guys. All the best.